Creating single subtotals. Have you ever been to dinner with a group of friends and spent a significant chunk of time trying to split the bill based on what everyone had and how much? If yes, you have experienced what a business must feel when they must figure out, say, which product lines are the most and least profitable. The only difference is, well, you're not a company, and thanks to the miracle of the subtotal command in Excel, one can consolidate large chunks of numbers into a few rows on a spreadsheet minus the manual calculations. This video will focus on creating subtotals in Excel 2016. However, the function is the same for earlier or later versions too. What the subtotal function in Excel does. A subtotal gives you values like sum, average, count, etc. of a subset of your total data. We'll understand the subtotal functionality better with an example. Let's consider the case of a company which sells various oil and gas products to the general public and to various industrial segments. For this dataset, as you can see, we have 4 columns or data fields, namely A, year. This is a multi-year dataset. In this case, the data is from the year 2005 till 2017. B, product. This field includes all the products that the company offers to its customers. C, sector. This field indicates the sector, whether public or industrial, that the company has sold the product under consideration to. D, value. This field mentions the size of the shipment of the product to the sector the product was sold to. The unit of measurement of each shipment size is 1,000,000 barrels. For the sake of this lesson, we'll use product as the data field under consideration. Specifically, we are trying to ascertain how much of each product has the company sold in the 12-year period under consideration. Here's how using the subtotal feature in Excel helps us to do this in a simple manner. Now Excel allows us to create a single subtotal that is a subtotal of one field of the data, which is product, and multiple subtotals, which is product. And we will explore these one at a time. Creating a single subtotal. Step 1. Sort the data in the dataset. The first thing that we need to do with any large raw dataset is to sort the data to ensure that all similar items, in this case, all products, are bunched together. Considering we are using product as the dataset of our consideration, let us sort the data and create subtotals using the following steps. A. Place the cursor on the first item under the product field and right-click to find the drop-down. Select Sort and then choose the alphabetical format A to Z. This step can also be done under the Data tab under the Sort and Filter group. B. Your data should now be arranged alphabetically. That is, the product types have been bunched together and should look like this. Step 2. Add the subtotal function. Now let's create subtotals, that is, identify how much of each product has been sold to customers. This is a rather straightforward process. You simply select all the data present on the sheet. On the ribbon, select the Data tab, click on the Subtotal button. A dialog box appears. You can see that in the dialog box, we have multiple selection criteria. Let's start by understanding what each stands for. Selection criteria 1, at each change in. The first selection criteria is the at each change in, and if you click on the drop-down arrow button, you'll find the names of all the columns. This option allows you to choose as to which data set is the one that you wish to create subtotals for. Since we are trying to ascertain the quantity of each product sold, we select product as the criteria for the selection of data. Selection criteria 2, use function. The next selection criteria that the dialog box under subtotals provides is the use function. Upon clicking the drop-down arrow, we can see 11 mathematical functions, namely sum, count, average, maximum, minimum, product, count numbers, standard deviation, etc. This is where you choose the mathematical calculation that you wish Excel to perform for you for the data set under consideration. For example, you might want to find the total or sum or an average of the value of the data set. In our case, we are looking for sum or the number of barrels of the product that have been sold. Selection criteria 3, add subtotal to. The add subtotal to criteria allows us to choose the data on which the mathematical function that you had chosen earlier must be performed. In our case, since we are trying to find the number of barrels of each product sold, we must choose the data set related to this. That would be column D, value. Note, Excel by default chooses the last column to your right, which in this case works for us as we need to subtotal the value million barrels to find the sum of all the barrels used for different products. Once all this is set up, just click OK. And just like that, your spreadsheet now has subtotals for each product or the quantity of each product sold on it. If you look closely to the left of your screen now has outlines present on it. Click on outline 2 and you should be able to view all the subtotals and the grand total on your sheet, whereas outline 3 displays all the data inclusive of the subtotals. There you go. You now have a subtotal sheet. Removing the subtotal. To remove this subtotal command, we simply go back to the Data tab on the ribbon and click on Subtotal. The dialog box appears, only this time be sure to click Remove All. And just like that, you've got your original dataset back.